What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And for today, we are going to have a quick tutorial on how to use Chatfuel. Alright, so to start, you'll need to sign up with Chatfuel. So navigate to chatfuel.com and register using your Facebook page. Upon your initial login, you will be greeted by a welcome screen where you will answer a few questions about your industry. So here you will also define your ads budget, specify exactly what you are trying to automate, and choose the platform or channel you will be utilizing. So here we are using Facebook. At this stage, you have the option to set up keywords to trigger automated responses for specific words or phrases. So let's discuss this later on. And lastly, you can connect your Facebook page. Simply authorize the connection, click Done, and your page is officially connected. Alright, so now that your page is connected, it's time to begin building the first automation. So let's navigate to the Automation tab and create a new flow. The canvas you see is your main building area where you can incorporate blocks with content, various plugins, and third-party integrations. So for now, let's concentrate on constructing a simple flow specifically for a frequently asked questions. So here, the store operates primarily on Facebook, so let's add a messenger flow. By selecting Facebook page as the entry point, any user who clicks the button to send the page a message will immediately begin a conversation with the bot. So the first logical step is to add FAQs. Great examples of common FAQs include working hours, contacts, shipping details, and payment details. So within this specific FAQ flow, let's generate three buttons: making an order, delivery status, and contacts. Now, if you notice a red warning markers on your screen, don't panic. This simply means you haven't connected the preceding answer with the next block yet. Once you draw that connection, the error will resolve itself. So the final step in this sequence is to add content to our responses. For the first blocks, let's link a button directly to a website, making it incredibly easy for users to open that URL. For the third block, let's add a live chat option. This is useful in case a user prefers to stay in Messenger rather than placing a call. Additionally, if they type an inquiry that your automation does not understand, this setup ensures they will be seamlessly transferred to a chat with a live operator. So that completes step 2. The automation is completely ready to go and your questions and answers are fully set up. The only remaining task is to set it live. So to set your automation live, simply click the status toggle that says inactive, turn it on, and you should be good to go. Alright, now to send recurring notifications in Messenger, navigate to Automation, then Flows. We're going to create a new flow here. Click on this plus sign and select Add Messenger Flow. For this entry point, let's choose Facebook page. Then let's rename the flow to something like opt-in flow. The next thing we need to do is to add our opt-in message. So let's click on add content here, where you choose between daily, weekly, or monthly notifications. You can choose which one you want. So for this one, let's choose weekly. Next, we need to add a title and an image to our message. Alright, so the next step is adding a message that our users will see after they click this button. Now let's drag this connector over here to add a simple text block. So let's add a nice message. And that's it. The last thing to do here is create a topic for our opt-in message. So let's click somewhere on this card to do so. Here is fine, which will make this menu pop up. We simply need to create a new topic here. Alright, so that's for step 1. So now we're going to create the message itself for step 2. So let's head over to the Re-engage tab. You can go for several options, but this time let's choose schedule for later to ensure the message is sent on specific date and time. Let's select a topic we've created before. So let's click here, go to recurring notifications, and pick your topic from the list to do so. So here we have new weekly message. Let's find that as well, then click select. Next, let's set the time when the message will be sent out. Let's say go with next Friday. Adding content to our message is the last and most important step here. You can go with several options such as simple text message. This message can already be sent to your users. They will see this text alongside a button to your store. Now, it is important to keep in mind that you are subscribing users to one single message. This means all the content of your newsletter or recurring message must be housed in one card, just like this one containing our text and button. Now, what if you also want to add an image? Going here and clicking image will make it two cards. Now let me show you a trick to add text, buttons, and multiple images without breaking the single message rule. So instead of using a text card, we will use a gallery. Let's click on gallery. Now let's add the text and a button that will link to the website. So uploading your image is the last thing to add here. So let's go with this poster. Let's choose square, and then we're good to go. Now with our image, text, and button in place, this is considered a single message, meaning we are not breaking any rules. So also, you can simply add more cards to your gallery by clicking this plus button if you want to add multiple images or buttons. You can add up to 10 cards. Alright, so now let's talk about Instagram direct entry point. So currently we are here in Flow Builder. So to add new flow, specifically in Instagram Flow, let's click the big plus button here, and once inside, let's add the Instagram direct entry point. To give us more working space, let's collapse the side panel, drag this over, and double click the canvas to add the Instagram direct entry point. So let's just move this up and We are ready to go. So Instagram direct entry point really consists of four levels or four layers. So right at the top, we have frequently asked questions, all first messages with keywords, and finally, next time user messages you. All right, so let's talk about frequently asked questions first. As you might imagine, you can input different frequently asked questions here with just the click of a button or the click of a quick reply. The user can send that question and receive a quick answer. So let's demonstrate how that works. So that is the simplest part of this entry point, as it is very straightforward. So to add an FAQ option, let's click here. Assuming we are an e-commerce store, we will just input a couple of FAQs right here. So let's use, do you have a discount? All right. And for demonstrational purposes, let's put in one more. Let's say, I need to track my order. Okay, so we have two simple FAQs here. So to create a corresponding response or answer, we can just click and drag each of these connectors over to this block and write our response right here. Now let's click to add content text, and we can input something like get 5% of your first order with the discount code 5 off. All right. So by asking the user for their phone number or email before providing the discount, we could obviously make this much more advanced, but again, for demonstrational purposes, this is just super simple. All right, now we are all set with the FAQs. So to really respond to the majority of messages you receive, you could obviously create a list of multiple FAQs here, but we will keep it simple in this tutorial. So for the time being, let's go ahead and delete these other FAQs here. Okay. All right, so that is the FAQ level, which is very, very simple. So provided they do not have an open conversation with your page and haven't messaged you previously, the first time a user messages you after the bot is connected, they will see these buttons and FAQs. They click them and they get the response. Just super simple. Now, let's talk about the first message with keywords. So for now, let's skip over all the first messages and you will understand why in a second. So the user can obviously freely type in a message or click on one of these buttons for the first interaction after the bot is connected. So instead of a questions about a discount, let's say they have a question about shipping. Right. So if they do ask a question about shipping, we can input some keywords into this keyword group right here, typing in things like shipping, track my order, and etc. Now, if the user sends a free form message, typing out whatever they want in their own message rather than clicking this button, we can respond to them accordingly. All right, now let's click and drag this connector over again so we can provide another response. So if we wanted to get a little bit more advanced here, we could choose text and quick replies to ask them, what is your order number? Save that data to an attribute called order number, and then continue the conversation from there. So we have talked about two of the layers so far. So with FAQs, the user can click a button and get the response. However, if they freely type in a message instead of clicking one of those buttons and it matches one of these keywords, we can send them a relevant, tailored response based on what they were typing. Let us take this one step further now. So let's say the user has a question regarding sizing. So let's go with shoes, assuming you sell t-shirts or shoes. You sell shoes and the user has a sizing question. Again, imagine this is their very first interaction with your business after the bot is connected. So they are going to ask a question about sizing, so they are not going to type either of these keywords, nor will they click this FAQ. So in this case, you do not have sizing set up as either this keyword or this button. So what's going to happen then is that the bot will send this all other first messages or all first messages. So this is going to act like a fallback. It will go to this generic first message if these other criteria are not met in the first message. So in this case, I'm going to click and drag the connector over here again, and because it does not match any of these other responses, we can simply route the user to a generic main menu where they can try to get more help and progress down the conversation. So I will click send message again, and as previously mentioned, we could create a main menu utilizing text and quick replies saying, "Welcome, how can we help you?" which allows us to provide more detailed pathways or detailed responses for the user to explore. So we could include options like a sizing chart or maybe deals and etc. So this main menu is where we would place all those other options to serve as a fallback if the bot doesn't understand the message. So lastly, let's talk about this fourth layer here that says next time user messages you. So as mentioned, the Instagram direct entry point only applies to the very first message a user sends to your Instagram account once the bot is connected. However, from the second messages onward, if the user types in a phrase again, it is not going to revert to the Instagram direct entry point and look for these phrases and respond. Instead, it will go to the Setup AI tab instead, checking for any keywords that you have set up there. It is very important to keep in mind that if the user types shipping while on the main menu at this point in the conversation, it is not going to send them this response right here. Instead, you will need to have that keyword set up in the Setup AI tab, and if the user enters one of those keywords, it will continue the conversation from that point on. Also, a couple of things worth mentioning here. So first, you will want to toggle this on right here before you actually set this entry point live. You will just click to activate the entry point, choose to sync changes to Instagram, and then you are completely set up. At this point, the entry point along with the keywords and these frequently asked questions will be live on your Instagram account. You can start promoting your chatbot then because it will not be active before you toggle on that entry point. Also, one other very important thing to mention is that if you are using the Instagram direct entry point, you must make sure that any keywords or campaigns you are running are available in both the Setup AI tab and the keyword groups here in the Instagram direct entry point. So just imagine you are running a Black Friday campaign for your e-commerce store. Having the keyword Black Friday set up here in the Instagram direct entry point is great, but it will only work for people when they send that initial message to your Instagram account. So in other words, it is not going to work if somebody has previously messaged your bot because that keyword is not also set up in the Setup AI tab. Again, if you are running any sort of campaigns using keywords to activate them, great. Just make sure you include them here in the Instagram direct entry point, but also do not forget to set them up in the Setup AI tab or vice versa. If you already have those keywords set up in the Setup AI tab, make sure you also include them here because otherwise you might not be allowing everyone who wants to engage with your campaign to actually do so. Alright, so that's it with the Instagram direct entry point. Alright, so that wraps up our quick tutorial for today. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Thank you so much, and see you again next time.